Okay, let's take this 1988 BMW 635 CSI Highline, but this time somewhat tuned, for a spin. What do we got here? ABS light, ignition light and oil light come up properly. The ignition light doesn't, but the alternator is charging properly. It's actually fairly new. Everything starts and goes out the way it should. I did 80 miles in this last night at very high speed, and it was absolutely superb. I really enjoyed it. Into D and off we go. Right, what can we tell you about this? Showing 217,000 miles, 217, although it drives as if it's done a third of that, and the previous owner apparently had the engine rebuilt, we think about 5,000 or 6,000 miles ago, sort of around Christmas time. We're waiting for the paperwork to arrive on that. He says he has got it, but it's in his wife's house and he's getting divorced, which is why he's selling it, blah blah blah. So we're waiting for that to arrive, but certainly something's been happening to the engine, because it feels absolutely superb. You can see some external bits and pieces that have been put on it, and I've got at the moment sort of no reason to disbelieve what he says, but certainly the way it performs is absolutely fantastic. Starts on the button. It's got a towed alarm immobiliser on it. I was hoping we could go a bit quicker along here, but looks like we're going to be stuck behind this truck. Damn. Perhaps we can go a different way, I think. Yeah, starts on the button. No misfiring, no hesitancy, and importantly no overheating. Temperature gauge is sitting about a third of the way up the scale at the minute, which is really where it sat last night at motorway speeds. No problem there at all, and it still feels pretty tractable. It has got stuff like a Schrick 282 cam in it apparently, which obviously should make it slightly less tractable and a bit more lumpy, but it just doesn't really seem to, in fairness. It just seems to be you know, very very quick, smooth and lovely. Really wish I wasn't stuck behind this lorry. Perhaps we can turn around and come back down again. But say, engine wise, absolutely superb. I'll go through the engine spec in a minute if I can. The gearbox is lovely. It changes gear really nice and smoothly. No problems whatsoever there. It's got apparently the factory limited slip diff on it, and that's nice and quiet as well. And the whole drivetrain feels really solid and up together and nice. It's got also got eye-back suspension on it, which does actually firm it up somewhat. It certainly handles better than other sixes that I've either got or had, and I've got extensive experience in these. It does. I think it's also been polybushed from memory as well, so we're told. And certainly the way it handles would concur with that, shall we say? So no, driving wise, absolutely spot on. No nasty rattles, squeaks, bangs, expensive clunks or groans or anything. It just really gets on with it. As I say, belies the mileage of nearly 217,000 miles, but judging by the state of the interior, I would imagine that's been mainly motorway miles, because it's got a very nice proper Highline interior on this one as well, with all the electric seats and everything, and all the right bits and bobs. At one point, the aircon, apparently, this is allegedly, so I can't prove this at the minute. When he rebuilt the engine, he didn't put an aircon belt on it, but apparently the aircon does work really nicely. He just wanted extra power, so he didn't connect the aircon belt. So I'm going to leave it like that. If it does work, great, then it's a bonus. If it doesn't, well, caveat emptor and all that. Anyway. Right, engine spec wise, it's got a full stainless steel large bore exhaust on it. It's also had race spec bearings and big end bolts and stuff put in it. Slightly oversized pistons. The head was ported and polished, I understand. It's got a high pressure fuel regulator. That is certainly under the bonnet, you can see that. And what else? The ECU was apparently slightly remapped to give extra performance, and certainly it does perform. It was also balanced, the engine, so, and I think it probably was, because it feels really really smooth, just that bit more powerful than a standard 635, which is no slouch at the best of times, and it's just rather lovely. It performs very very well indeed. As I say, we're just waiting for the paperwork to turn up to confirm what was actually fitted, although we do have it in writing from the previous owner. Steers nicely, brakes really well too for a 6. Normally the brakes on these can feel a little bit wooden. And hopefully we can get a clear run back down here. Oh, nasty bump. It's also got 16-inch wheels on it with low profile tyres. Okay, off we go. I'm not going to bother putting it in sport mode, but it does actually perform very nicely. I'm not doing full throttle or anything. The gear changes are really lovely and smooth. So apparently it has got a remapped ECU on it. Handling nicely, not boaty at all. A couple of other things, the fan actually works on all speeds, which is a very unusual for one of these. Normally it doesn't, but the fan is working perfectly. And one other thing, the check panel is all good apart from the engine oil light is permanently on. Apparently when it was rebuilt afterwards they couldn't get the oil level light to go off, so you just have to press the little check button to get rid of the orange check light on the dash. But all the instruments are working exactly the way they should. Again, Sunday drive in front of us. It's normally a good bit of road this for demonstrating a car. There's not really much more I can say about it. It's just, for an E24 635, it's really good. And I say I wouldn't be put off by the mileage if I were you, because it has had the benefit of a decent engine rebuild, it would appear. I think that's about it. Anyway, my name's Simon. You can reach me on 0771 906 9353 or in the office on 0118 946 3352, or you can go to our website, which is www.motodrome.co.uk for any further info.